How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my review of Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham Hotspur that has finished at the City Ground. So yeah, obviously it did finish Tottenham 2, Nottingham Forest 0, a brace for Harry Kane. But to be honest with you, I don't really think the scoreline really shows the tale of the tie all too much. I did sort of predict in my preview video that it would be sort of 2-0, 2-1 either way, and it did sort of turn out to be that way. But I don't really think that you look at a 2-0 and, you know, maybe if you didn't see the game, you just see the scoreline, you think, yeah, kind of expected Tottenham turn up to a newly promoted side and get a 2-0 win. But it wasn't comfortable for Spurs by any stretch of the imagination. I think in parts of the game, we were the better side, to be honest with you. I think in terms of the midfield battle, I think we won that, to be honest with you. I think O'Brien looked really good. Yates looked good as well. They kind of bossed Bentancur and Højbjerg in the middle of that park. I don't really think that they had all too much of a good game, the Tottenham midfield. I think O'Brien and Yates played really well. And, you know, maybe if Mangala was in there, it could have been a bit of a different story. Maybe he might have won that game. I'm not sure. I don't know. A bit of a shame that Mangala took a knock. But I don't know. I think you got to look at the performance. And if you take the scoreline out of it, there's a lot of positives to take. And if you're Steve Cooper, you've got to be really pleased with that. I think the only kind of worry about that performance was that we couldn't find the back of the net. I think we need to be a bit more clinical in front of goal. One shot on target was a bit of a shame. It was a long shot from O'Brien. But I think it was 17 shots in total that we had. More possession than Spurs. You know, a really promising performance, and one that we can definitely take away going forward. You know, the crowd sounded absolutely incredible. What you'd come to expect with a City Ground, you know, it's absolutely fantastic, and they made an absolute racket, and it was just, yeah, brilliant to hear, and you know, I think the home games are going to be where we get most of our points this season. So if we are able to make it a real fortress and a kind of a cauldron, a place where clubs don't want to go, then, you know, it could really benefit us going forward this season. But, yeah, I'm really pleased with the performance. It's a shame that, obviously, we did concede 2 goals. Harry Kane braced an early goal and a late goal. Could have had a hat-trick, but Dean Henderson once again making a penalty save. 2 penalty saves in 2 home games, which is, yeah, brilliant for Henderson. I think he's been excellent for us this season. I think he's going to be a really important part for us in staying up this season. I think he even has shouts of playing in the World Cup. You know, it's a shame for him that Nick Pope's been playing so well for Newcastle. But, yeah, I'm really pleased with how he's sort of started his life at the City Ground, or life at Forest in general. Okay, yes, it has been 5 goals conceded in 4 games, which, you know, it's not ideal, but it's not horrendous. You know, I mean, you look at another newly promoted side in Bournemouth, they conceded 9 in 1 game. So, you know, you can't really complain about that too much. But I think he's made some big saves, and he's really kept us in some games. You know, that Everton game, he kept us in that from, you know, some huge stops in that one. And today, a penalty save against West Ham as well. So, you know, he's doing his bit. He's been really, really solid between the sticks. But, yeah, I think overall the performance you can be proud of. The result, it's a bit shaky. You know, I think the midfield too did really well. Yates and O'Brien, I think they really bossed the midfield. Nico Williams, I thought, had a really good game down that right hand side. Caused a lot of problems for the likes of Ivan Perisic, and then when he went off, Ryan Sessegnon, I think he looks really, really promising, Nico Williams. I really am interested to see how he pans out for the rest of the season, because he's got real potential. You know, the way that he gets forward down that right-hand side, come with a ball in, can even arrive on the end of a cross and try and score himself. You know, he looks like he's going to be a really you know, really important player for us this season down that right-hand side. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing how he sort of pans out for the rest of the season. You know, the front 3, an interesting one to start off with. Johnson, Lingard and O'Brien. Johnson, Lingard and Gibbs White, a real sort of fluid front three, one that can interchange, and one can go wide and one can go through the middle. It was quite interesting to see it work. I think we did probably need an Awoniyi through the middle, somebody who can kind of hold it up a little bit, play it off two players buzzing around him, really do that little bit of a focal point, But other than that, I think, they did work well, and they worked hard. Johnson had a couple of chances. The pace did cause a bit of problems for the back line of Tottenham. So, I think it definitely could work. You look at someone like Bournemouth next weekend, it could definitely work against them. But yeah, really excited from that game. It's really given me a lot of positivity going into the next games. Okay, yes, the next one is against Man City, which is probably going to be a loss, let's be honest. But then you got Bournemouth, and then you've got Leeds, two teams that you potentially can get points from. If we're not getting points from Bournemouth, then, questions can start to be asked about whether we're going to stay in this division. But, I'm confident that we do beat Bournemouth at home. Then we've got sort of Leeds away, which is obviously a difficult game. Leeds away is a difficult one for anybody, but it's a game where you can go and get points. We've got Brentford next month as well. So we've got a run of games after Manchester City in the week that we can start to get some more points on the board and start to build a bit more confidence. I think if we continue to play in that sort of vein going forward, then I don't see why we won't be absolutely fine in this league. Just a shame today we couldn't find the back of the net, and the clinical nature of Harry Kane came into play down the other end. But, you keep playing that sort of way against some of the lesser teams, even some of the mid-table teams. You're looking at your Southamptons, you're looking at your Crystal Palaces, teams like that. Brighton, maybe. If we play that way, we could get stuff from those teams, get points from those teams, wins and draws and things like that, and can start to sort of consolidate ourselves in the middle of the pack or just above the relegation zone. I think, there are a lot of positives to take, and from that performance, I think, carry on that way, and I think we'll be absolutely fine this season. Really excited to see how things pan out here at the City Ground and what's going to happen for the remainder of the season. But I'm really pleased with that performance. Okay, the result wasn't what we wanted, but that comes with time. Games against Tottenham aren't going to define our season. A loss to Tottenham's not going to be the end of the world. We need to be beating the teams around us, like your Bournemouth, like your Fulhams, like your Brentfords. Those sorts of teams, like your... this season looks like your Aston Villas. They're having a really torrid time. But your Everton's, okay, we've got a point away from home against them, which is good. Goodison Park, a difficult place to go to. But overall, I'm really encouraged by that performance. Okay, yes, we did lose by 2-0, but I'm encouraged by what I saw in that game. Another big save from Dean Henderson from the spot. I think Joe Worrell silenced some of his critics. There was a few question marks over him after that Everton game, but I think he looked really solid and proved a lot of them wrong today, and made a massive challenge in that first half to stop Harry Kane, which was massive. And talking about massive challenges, you don't want to really encourage us in the game, but it was quite nice to see Brennan Johnson absolutely snap Richarlison after he got a bit cocky doing the kick ups there. But you don't want to condone that in the game. There's no sort of place for that, but he was kind of asking for it a little bit, Richarlison. But anyway, in terms of a Forest man of the match for me, I think Williams is a candidate down that right-hand side. I think Steve Cook, massive save offline there. To be honest with you, that was annoying from Cook. There was not really much need for him to do that, to be honest with you, but he did it anyway, and Dean Henderson came up with clutch. And for me, it's a difficult one. I was going to say Dean Henderson because of the penalty save, but I think... Actually, I'm going to go with Dean Henderson for the penalty save, but I think the midfield, Gibbs White played well, Johnson played well, couldn't quite find the back of the net. Dennis looked good off the bench. That was really positive to see. O'Brien and Yates linked up well in the midfield. I think it was a good performance all round. Just a shame that we couldn't quite find our goals, and they managed to find two of their own. But yeah, exciting times ahead, and on to Man City, where we will, we'll definitely get 3 points. Yeah, let's be positive. But be a tricky one. But anyway, let us know down below what you thought of the game, who your man of the match was, and all that good stuff. Smash the like button if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe if you are new around here, and come on, you Reds.